Yes, please take a seat right there. Make yourself comfortable. It's very important to us that you are comfortable during this interview. And did you find the parking okay? Because I know at this time that sometimes parking can be quite a bit tricky. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And no, we do not validate parking, but one thing you'll have to learn in this line of work is that many sacrifices need to be made of yourself, of your own life. So it's better that you know that now than later on, so to speak. Does that make sense to you? Good, good. Well, let's begin, shall we? My name's Anya. Very nice to meet you. Very nice indeed. So, you want to be international monster hunter, is that correct? And right off the bat, why? Because it is a bit of a precarious job, not a common thing for people want to do. I see. Well, that all makes some sense, I suppose. But we really need to get down to the nitty-gritty of it all, because too many times do we hire people to join our organization and they are surprised when they are killed in some terrible, terrible way by some monster or ghost or something. You see, we at this organization, it's not like Ghostbusters, you know, Ghostbusters, it's not like that. Not like that at all. See, we hunt way more than just ghosts or poltergeist. We hunt all sorts of creatures. Vampire, Bigfoot, Wendigo, werewolf, anything. Demon, the occasional demon. And it's not all fun and games. This is a very serious job and organization. And we have existed in the world for centuries, a long time. And it has always been our mission to make sure that the public continues to believe that these things, monsters, creatures, not but fantasy, you know, what's in storybook sort of thing. They're not real. But in reality, these things are right under their noses. When they see shadow move on the wall, it's probably something. So we try to keep the public in ignorant bubble, so to speak. We don't want them knowing that these things are real, because that would just lead to utter chaos. Do you agree? Good. So, we are a very secretive organization. Now, enough on that. I need to ask you some questions about yourself. Standard procedure. Tell me your full name, please. And your date of birth. And where do you currently reside? And have you ever come into contact with monster creature yourself? Anything supernatural, the occult? Interesting. Can you elaborate on that experience, please? Interesting. That's good that you've actually had some experience with the supernatural, because that way you're not surprised when you first come into contact with said creatures. So, points to you. Now, do you have any combat experience, or use of weaponry of any kind? Doesn't matter, knife, bow, staff, gun, anything. And it doesn't really matter that much, because when you join our organization, we train you. We train you to be very prepared for anything. So even if you haven't had experience, it doesn't matter. You will be trained, you will be ready, and it will not be a problem. And did you have a normal childhood, or did you have a troublesome past where it left you wanting to live out a vigilante lifestyle? Sort of get your revenge on anything? Anything traumatic like that? Okay. And how comfortable are you with the idea that you will most likely die a most painful and violent death doing this kind of work, because most of these creatures that we come into contact with, they have sharp claws and teeth. They will rip your heart out from your chest, rip your head clean off. They might crush your bones, drink your blood, suck the soul right out of your body. Are you okay with those things? Because that is what you'll be up against, I'm afraid. Okay. We are a very transparent company, okay? Organization. We just like to be upfront with the risks that you might encounter, and you will, because like I said, you most likely will die a most terrible death. And similarly, are you willing to give up your current life? There is no having a life outside of this job. It's work that needs to be done every day, and if you're not careful, then you will get hurt terribly. And you see, most of these monsters and these creatures, they are able to have enough thought and wherewithal to hold grudges, and once they learn of you that you're this big monster hunter, big international monster hunter, well, they will try to find you and kill you, or kill your family or your friends or anything like that. So it's best to live a very isolated life in this line of work. Good. Very good. Glad to hear that. And if you were to guess, how big of a problem do you think these monsters are globally? No, they are not just isolated into small areas. Monsters and creatures, demons, they exist all around the world, okay? They're in Germany, Thailand, Africa, United States, everywhere. You understand this? It's a global problem. That is why we are an international monster hunting organization. It's a global problem. And it is our job to eradicate this global threat in a very quiet way. Very quiet, very secretive. You cannot tell anyone what you do. You will need to live a double life, so to speak. You'll need to have a different identity, different from your own. Now you can pose as a car mechanic or a school teacher, whatever it might be that you can tell people. But people must not know that you're international monster hunter. Okay, that is something between you and our organization. What's that? Pay and benefits. Well, we do offer certain benefits, but the pay is not great. We don't pay very much. You will not become wealthy person through doing this work, but it is important work, and hopefully that importance plays into the pay and the benefit. It's a thankless job because no one on the outside will know the great sacrifices that you're making to ensure that monsters never, ever attack them. Okay? Good. Now, of course, once hired on, you'll be taught all the ways of all the monsters and things out there, things that go bump in the night, and believe you me, things do be going bump in the night. But I want to gauge your kind of inner instinct on certain monsters. How would you take down certain monsters? Because of course there's right way and there's wrong way. And many movies and TV shows, some get it right, some just very, very barely graze the surface of how to actually kill certain monsters. So I will list a few monsters for you, and I'd like you to tell me, just instinct alone, how you would take them down. Let's start easy one, okay? Vampire. You know, sharp teeth, bite neck, suck your blood. A vampire. How would you take down vampire? Wooden stake. Very good answer, but here we like to improve upon kind of the basic what's out there for knowing how to kill certain things. So what we do for vampire, we take wooden stake, so you got that part right, but we marinate it in a combination of holy water and minced garlic for at least 24 hours. And then we take that stake and put that through the heart of the vampire. Now that will kill it. But pretty close. Pretty close. And then werewolf. How would you go about killing a werewolf? That's right, silver bullet. Really, any silver weaponry will do the trick, but silver bullet is most effective. Right to the heart. Right through the heart of a werewolf. 3 times is better. If you can shoot 3 times in the heart, silver bullet, that will put down werewolf. And werewolves are tricky because most of the time they are human, no? They are in human form. So they could be anybody. But once we've done our research and gotten the proper intel, and we know for certain that someone is werewolf, then we take them down. But they can be quite tricky, and it must be done when they are in wolf form, under the full moon. Preferably a blood full moon, but we do what we can, and that's okay. Now, but the witch, how would you kill a witch? You know, fly broomstick, cauldron, bubble, 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 making potions, doing magic. A witch, how would you kill said creature? Burn the witch, that's correct. The best and most effective way to kill a witch is to burn it. Her, he, sometimes wizard, no, evil wizard, witch, you burn them. Very good. See, maybe you are cut out for this line of work. Now, what about zombie? How would you go about killing a zombie? You know, ooh, I'm gonna eat your flesh. That zombie. Yes. You cut off the zombie head. When you cut off zombie head, zombie go bye-bye. Zombie die. So, that is true. If you really want to stop a zombie, you cut off the head. And that should do it. Now what about ghosts? Poltergeist. They're a bit tricky, aren't they? Because they are technically already dead. So what we can do is banish them. Yes. There are certain seances that we can do to banish said ghost or poltergeist. But you know, it's a simple household item that is very effective to, at least temporarily, banishing ghosts. Salt. That's right. NaCl, salt. You toss a bit on the spirit and it go bye-bye. Bye-bye, ghosty. You know. Very effective. Very simple. And easy to carry in your back pocket, you know. Always keep a bit of salt with you at all times. Very good. Now, have you been given a copy of the handbook yet? I know you've not been hired on, but we still like to preemptively give the handbook. Well, no. Well, the handbook contains all the information we know on any current monster or creature and how to take them down. Let me get you a copy, okay? And the book has no special cover because we don't want anyone to see you reading the book and be like, ooh, what's that? Handbook to stop monsters. No. So no special cover or anything like that. Very plain, very simple looking, okay? Let me get it for you. This is the handbook, okay? Very plain, very small, very easy to conceal. Now, you must be very careful with this thing because there is so much knowledge in here. And if any other regular person to get their grubby little hands on said book, well then, all of our secrets would be revealed and they would then know that monsters are just, they exist among us, unfortunately. So you must always guard this book with your life. Does that make sense? Good. So don't just leave it about. You go to coffee shop, have cappuccino, you're reading book and you leave it on table. That is no. We cannot have that. You must be careful with this at all times. And even worse would be if a monster were to get their claws around this book. That would be a big problem. Because although there are many types of monsters, they often work together to kind of form an alliance, so to speak. And in that alliance, they try to stop us international monster hunters all the time. Like I said before, that some are capable of thinking enough to hold a grudge. And let's say you kill a Wendigo's best friend, that Wendigo might come and try to kill you, okay? They never forget, and they're dangerous. So, guard this book with your life, because your life may very well depend on that. There you go. So, do you have any final questions for me in this interview? When can you start? Well, I like your ambition. So you have to be a badass to be in this line of work. Are you a badass? I can tell. You look like one. You look like someone who can handle themselves. We try not to turn anybody away who wants to do this because, well, so many people do not make it very long. I'm just trying to be transparent, okay? So, you may start tomorrow. Is that okay? Very good. So, what I'll have you do is pack up your life, quit your job, do whatever you need to do. Because tomorrow, you start new life. This life, becoming international monster hunter. It will be your life now. Nothing else will be able to function outside of it. You understand? No relationship, nothing. Just you and the organization and the monsters that we kill. Well, good. I'm glad you understand. And again, it's been so lovely to meet you. I'm very excited to see what you'll do in this organization. I think you'll be a very good addition to the team. All right. See you bright and early tomorrow. And you will begin your new life as international monster hunter. Goodbye.